Hello and welcome to The Ripple Impact. I'm your host Laura Barber and today is a little bit different. It's New Year's Eve. Congratulations, you have made it through 2025. New Year's Eve is that moment between what has been and what is coming next. For some of us, it's a reflective moment. For others, it's hopeful. And for many, it's a mix of excitement, probably tiredness, and some big questions about what 2026 might hold. So today isn't about pressure or predictions, nor New Year's Eve resolutions that are designed to impress. Today is about pausing together, taking stock, and choosing with intention what we want to build on next. If you're heading into 2026 feeling like marketing is shouting louder than ever, but clarity feels harder to find, then this episode is for you. Because what I want to share next isn't hot takes, it's my personal view of what's shaped by listening, building, and watching the patterns repeat. Here's what I genuinely believe will define brand building in 2026. Firstly, emotions are going to move back to the center of brands. Hallelujah. Logic alone won't win the persuasion games, and brands that will win won't be the loudest, but be the clearest. If you strip away your strategy deck and your metrics, what do you actually want people to feel when they experience your brand? And is that truly clear today? Second, community. And community really stopping being a tactic and actually becomes a growth engine for brands, with belonging outperforming reach and connection outlasting campaigns. Are you building an audience that watches you or a community that really feels they belong to you? Third, creative courage becoming an absolute serious competitive advantage. Safe work won't fail, but it will quietly fade into the background in a sea of sameness. So are you playing it safe because it feels sensible? If so, identify where you are and how you can be more creative and more memorable. Number 4, behavioral science becoming practical, not just theory. Understanding how people really choose will matter more than how people say they intend to choose. And perception isn't always reality. So are your decisions on your brand and your business based on how people really behave or on how you hope they will behave when your campaign goes live? And finally, number 5, that founders will step into their voice. Hallelujah. Not polished spokespeople, but as humans with perspective, values, and lived stories. What stories, beliefs, and lived experience would you actually lead with if you truly allowed yourself to? That's the shift I see coming, and it changes everything. So, what does this mean for you? If 2025 was about reflection, then let 2026 be about building clarity, building confidence, building something that feels aligned to you and your business, not forced. Whether you're growing a brand, leading a team, or navigating your own next chapter, the work ahead isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters. That's what this episode is here to support, not with hype, but with honesty, with insights and tools that you can actually use. So what's coming in 2026 for the Ripple Impact? A lot, actually, and I'm genuinely super excited about it. Next year, the Ripple Impact goes deeper. We're not going louder, we're not going shinier, we're going deeper. Because the conversations that really change us rarely arrive with confetti. They often are in the quiet moments, the moments on a train, in a moment of discomfort, with a decision that feels small at the time, but actually becomes a huge wave of change. And that's exactly how some of our most powerful 2026 podcast conversations will begin. In one of our first 2026 guests, you are going to hear from the wonderful Joe Glover. He is the founder of the Marketing Meetup, a community of over 50,000 marketeers built not on scale, but built on care. Joe didn't set out to build a movement. What he did was take feeling really uncomfortable in traditional networking and set his own path with the Marketing Meetup. He clicked the button on the train and set up something incredible and followed his feelings rather than followed beautiful polished strategy. In our conversation with Joe, he named something I think the industry has been quietly avoiding, that competence isn't the biggest problem for marketers, actually it's confidence. So if you've ever felt stretched, quietly overwhelmed, or like you're performing confidence rather than actually feeling it, then this episode with Joe will truly land. You're also going to hear from the incredible Chris Hewlett. He is the co-founder of Octopus Group and Octopus Energy. Chris started Octopus when he was 23, sitting in his lounge, making thousands of phone calls with his fellow co-founders, being told repeatedly that the idea would never work. Fast forward 25 years later to a business with £9 billion in funds under management. What an incredible journey that is. But what struck me most wasn't the scale of what he's built, it's how he thinks. He thinks legacy over short term wins, customers over jargon, and culture over control. Chris talks about why values only matter if people inside the business can actually recognize them and feel them, why long-term thinking is a genuine competitive advantage, and why building a business that matters is very different from building one that just looks valuable. If you're trying to build something that lasts, this conversation will really stay with you. And those are just a few of our opening ripples and our first few podcast guests for 2026. But 2026 isn't just about conversations, because inspiration without action fades pretty quickly. In 2026, the Ripple Impact becomes more than a podcast. It is becoming an ecosystem. We are launching some really, really exciting things, so please look out for this. Firstly, our Ripple Method. This is our proprietary framework, turning human insights into clear, emotional, resonant brand strategies. An incredible framework to take brands and founders and business through to really elevate the human storytelling in brand strategy. Second, we are launching a brand new Ripple Impact website designed to guide founders, leaders, and creators to the right tools at the right moment. We're launching new digital tools and resources for when you need clarity. You don't just need another consultant, but you really need clarity in your brand strategy and your thinking, alongside our incredible brand workshops. They're bold, they're practical, that helps team really unlock growth through stronger, more human storytelling, whether that's your brand storytelling or your founder story. And this is the shift from listening to doing, from ideas to frameworks, from ripples into waves, and it's arriving exactly at the right moment. So why does this matter now? Well, I've spent a lot of time listening to leaders, to culture, and the quiet signals beneath the noise. And what I see is this. The false divide between brands and performance is finally softening. Growth comes from consistency of meaning, not channel wars. Marketing will reclaim commercial influence, not through noise, but through clarity, emotion, and outcome-led storytelling. And brands with soul don't just stand out, they last. 2026 is the year for brand building, getting its humanity back. So, as we step into 2026, remember this. A ripple always starts small. A feeling you listen to, a story you stop editing, a choice you finally make. And if you're looking to elevate the human storytelling of your brand and your business, please get in contact with us at the Ripple Impact. Thank you so much for being part of the first year of the Ripple Impact, for listening, for sharing, for trusting these conversations. If you care about brand building and careers that are human, meaningful, and brave, make sure you've subscribed to the Ripple Impact and follow along for what's coming. 2026 is going to be the best year yet. I am Laura Barber. This is the Ripple Impact. Happy New Year to you all. 2026 starts tomorrow. Are you ready?